And they have delivered in every single spot they've been put in.
Even when Jay was by
Even when
himself.
Jay was by himself, was doing
Yeah.
some of the best acting in all of television. When Roman was gaslighting the shit out of him, like
Some great TV. Great TV.
It was such great TV for us to be stuck at home and couldn't go to bars and see bitches and go outside and touch grass. Yes.
Right. I guess I could say I'll speak for myself in this with the Uso fatigue. Like you said, they've been in the main event picture. Not only that for the last 2 years, before that, they've been the main attraction tag team in the WWE. Like they've had guys kind of fall in and out, but the Usos have never left. Even with Jimmy's troubles, they've always still been in the main.
Yeah, it was never a question of are we gonna break up the Usos? Never.
Ever. That's a good point, Dub. Nobody's ever even talked about that. More or less because they don't. I think because they're twins, that helps that narrative stay alive, where they not gonna look at them as separate people. But I mean, in all honesty, if you want to talk about it, Jey Uso is, I think, the more vital part of the team. And if anybody deserved, and he showed that he could be by himself when Jimmy was gone, and then doing.
Oh yeah, he proved he can main event.
Yo, it's E-Ray, the quasi bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, the side god of pod, and I'm here to tell y'all, come check out my show, Binge Flicks and Chill. You never know what you're gonna get, but we always talking some good shit when it comes to television and the latest movies. So we want to bring y'all in. We want to make sure you have a good time. You learn something, you laugh, you cry, you might stab a nigga or two. I don't know what you're gonna get, but that shit is popping. So come check out Binge Flicks and Chill. And it's me, E-Ray, and I'm out.
Right. They're beneficiaries of the fact that there's already a bunch of guys sitting around in the back that they don't know what to do with. So how would they even write up these guys and their pushes outside of just the normal, like, beefing with the fam type stuff? But I don't know. I think if anybody's going to end this storyline with the bloodline, it's got to be Dewey Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock. But the only thing that makes me hesitant, Dub, and you know a lot about how these guys move and what they say in public. The Rock has openly said, I don't want to come back and do any sort of story with Roman unless I'm putting him over. That dude don't need to be put over.
He can be put over in the very end. Like, I'm pretty sure that the story with John was for 2 years, and at some point he's putting John over, but you got to get the people behind him. Like, when Rock beat John the first time, it was followed up by Brock beating John at SummerSlam, and then John just going on his losing streak and people feeling bad for him. And then Edge came out of retirement to Raw with his mom haircut just to tell John Cena to beat John Cena again. And then John went on this run to get himself back to Rock at Mania. Oh, you know me, I'm going to get these jokes off.
But, I feel you got to, man. We still got to keep it alive, man.
If they're going to tell that story of Rock and Roman, Rock has to go over first.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Yeah, it has to happen to create the what about me, what about Roman?
Yeah, because of
effect.
Because the way they've built Roman now, if Rock can't beat him, nobody can.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they have to kind of stretch this thing out, but that's where it comes to Rock's movie schedule, and Roman, I'm sure, is going to have a movie or something in the next couple years, because, I mean, he's out here now. He was in that Hobbs and Shaw shit, so he's got a name in Hollywood. Especially, like you keep saying, the dumbest thing that WWE could have ever did was let these people be showcased all over LA for a week. So, yeah. So, I feel like I want to believe you so bad, man, that this is going to play out that way. There's too many moving pieces and parts for me to see it happen. I got to see some other commitments and things of that nature.
So the only reason I'm really confident I say it happened is because they allude to it. They wouldn't allude to it if, like, Rock's movie schedule said no, he can't do it. But if his movie schedule says, hey, he can do it, they cash in all their chips. They push all their chips to the center of the table because, like I said last pod, you don't know how much longer you're gonna get this guy because he's gonna be president.
Absolutely.
Soon. And
he will never wrestle a match. He's lucky if he shows his face.
So
he's already booking it out.
You have to take him if you can get him. They they probably would have asked him to not put that part in the show between him and Roman when he's like, "No, little cousin, a match like that is only built for WrestleMania." I'm like, they wouldn't let him put that in there if they didn't think they could get him at Mania. They would ask him respectfully, "Hey, don't put that in there because we don't really think that match is ever going to happen." And because Rock is so respectful of the place he came from, he would say, "Okay."
Yeah, but the WWE ain't never gonna turn down any shameless plugs for anything.
That's a big plug, though.
That's where I kind of disagree. That's a hell of a plug, and they know what they were doing by sprinkling that into Young Rock. But the same token, like you say, Dub, what gives me faith on the other side of my doubt is the fact that if you gonna have Roman Reigns lose to anybody at this stage in the game, it's got to be The Rock.
It's got to be Rock.
There's nobody that. I mean, outside of any other WWE legend that could come out there and belittle him, which would be stupid as hell. The Rock is the only one that makes sense.
It especially has to be Rock now that Cody got hurt. Because now Cody's momentum is at an all-time high, but it's also in neutral right now. So you can't continue to build him. So now it just has to be Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the way they had Roman beat the shit out of John last SummerSlam. Like,
yeah, man, that was.
It could never be John ever again.
Way more out of that match.
The way he just beat that man's ass and talked shit to the people and to the camera the entire time he was doing it, which was a masterful performance in my opinion. He deserved an Emmy for that shit.
I agree. Agreed. I think that's where Roman really showed. Like, I'm not that old dude that y'all used to make fun of anymore when y'all booed me for 10 minutes after WrestleMania. Like, I'm not that guy no more. And here's your hero that y'all held up for the last 10 years, and me throwing his fucking face in the mat and embarrassing him vocally where these cameras are picking all that stuff up. Their promo offs, man, that shit was a legend. Like, I even pulled up the one when he was talking when they were making fun of the missionary shit. Like, I pulled that one up for the wife, and she was like, "Why are they talking like this?" She was like, "Just listen. This is what happens when they don't read a script. You let two guys that know how to." Exactly, man. Beautiful.
I loved it. Like,
I if wrestling could be that all the time, man, I would never cut
that promo. I would. His promo against Brock right before Mania. He's like, "This cameraman, he worked for me. These people, these my people." I was like, "Yo,
that's my sign." You see that?
You see these announcers? They talk about me. Sign. I was like, "Yeah." I think what's so great about his promos now is that he sounds like he believes everything that's coming out of his mouth. It's no more suffering succotash or any of that dumb shit that Vince had him saying. He believes everything he's saying.
Correct, man.
And that's a scary person that believes everything they're saying. I should know because I'm one of them. I believe every word that comes out of my mouth.
As you should. Everybody should believe what they say because if your word is everything, and if you ain't about what you're saying, then what the fuck is what's?
But when you speak in that way, when you speak in violence and you speak in like building yourself up like that, when you really believe it, you get other people to believe it, and then when you speak it in that way, it's not even almost that you get other people to believe it; it's that it's true. So and that's what's so powerful about Roman's promos now. And again, that's what's so powerful about Rock's promos back in the day. Because even though he was speaking in third person, he believed all of those things. And no one like believes all those things about themselves and can say it with conviction, except for those two. And no one's been built up enough in a way to beat them outside of the 10-time world champion, the box office draw, Dwayne, future President Johnson.
I couldn't agree anymore.
How did we get on The Rock talking about an Austin Theory cash-in?
Because we got into the the stuff that damn near keeps me up at night outside of the 45 jobs I have is fucking what is they gonna do with Roman? Exactly, man. Where's this Roman thing end? Like, where does it go? Who's coming in here to stop this guy? This can't go on for years. So, and we entering that because this is year 3 of the bloodline running amok.
The tribal chief got Roman stressed out. So weird.
For real.
The tribal chief got BA stressed out. Too funny.
Yes, I knew what you meant. It's cool. Funny. I wasn't gonna correct you. I know we vibing. It's cool. But yes, man, I don't know, Dub. So that's how we get there. Anytime you have an excuse for me to get to talking about the tribal chief, not of pod but of wrestling, I'm always gonna be like, look, man, I don't know how this thing is outside of Rocky and him, but everybody just trying to shit on it not happening, and it just makes me sad inside, man. So yeah, real life problems out here. First world problems, as the kids say.
Look on the bright side. At least you can see like what I'm thinking. Because the scary part, like, what if Vince is thinking Braun Breaker takes the belt off of Roman?
Oh. Dude, I might be done. That might be my last. This might be an exclusive AEW show. J-Mo, don't ever. J-Mo just rolled over. He heard that stuff all the way from Cleveland. Like, huh? What? Wait a minute. What? I'll never miss no show again. It's AEW?
The Bash was on Tuesday. Let's just get to the Bash because nothing of real note happened on Monday Night Raw, if I'm being 100% honest.
No, just a bunch of
that being said, it was a good Monday Night Raw, but nothing of note happened. Outside of Ciampa teaming up with The Miz, which is a whole entire mess that I don't have the time to get into right now.
I forgot about seeing that. Yeah, that's that. We'll pick that up when the fellas come back.
That's a whole mess that I don't have the time or the patience. And I tell you, I will tell you this.
I can't believe that.
What I don't want to see at SummerSlam is Miz and Ciampa versus AJ Styles and Logan Paul, or Jake Paul, whichever Paul it is. I
whatever.
Don't want to see that. I don't.
Yeah, it's whatever. I think it's Logan.
And Logan gave a really good performance at WrestleMania. It was thoroughly impressive. It wasn't bad money impressive, but it was impressive.
I don't want my Ciampa mixed into that Hollywood bullshit that they attract into the door. And the fact that they haven't given Ciampa any sort of like main roster rub is low key disrespectful, and he knows it. But he's got a family to feed, man. So he ain't stupid.
Just showed up and started beating up Ali for no reason. I was like,
that's exactly, man. I could just
beat up by Ciampa. I'm like,
that's another good point too, man. Like as we kind of try to get out of this main roster shit, like what's happening with Ali? Like he came in so hot on Theory, and we ain't seen that. It's just died in the water.
I don't know. I feel like they made that man some promises and they lied to him.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, well, honestly, I think Ali the type of dude to where if he didn't feel like he was gonna get what he wanted, he write an article through like the Players Tribune or some shit.
Oh yeah, he's definitely that type of guy.
WWE. I could definitely see that shit, man. But no, to your point, not anything else really happening on the main roster. But as we always get with like, and this is probably another reason why you think this is the 5th biggest pay-per-view is you usually get some sort of NXT event tied into a premium live event, and we got that on Tuesday night. Not a takeover, but everyone loves the old school Great American
Bash. As wrestling historians,
yes,
we appreciate the Great American Bash. I think way more than the kids do. It's another one.
Oh yeah, man, that shit takes me back to
like.
I always think of Sting and Ric Flair when I hear the Great American Bash. Just think about their slobber knockers. Shout out to JR, who can't just get his mind out of WWE land as he commentates. But yeah, man, that's big nostalgia for guys like us versus these kids that don't know what they see.
So, Great American Bash. My big takeaway: Carmelo Hayes is the best wrestler on that roster.
As I go through the roster in my mind, Dub, I think that I have to agree with you on that. Yeah, as I think about it, I don't see many other guys touching what he's doing in the ring right now. The only guy that comes
close is Santos.
Yeah, you already know how we feel about him. Who do you think would get called up first, Carmelo or Santos? I know who deserves to get called up first, but who would get called up first?
Santos.
who also deserves it. Okay, fair enough.
I think he's just been there so long, and I think if they're not going to put the strap on him, I'd much rather see him